We are going to start lying on our backs today. So go ahead and come down. Start with your knees bent, feet wide. Bring one hand to your lower belly, one hand to your heart. And take a moment to settle in to your body. And arrive into this space. And start to notice how you feel. Noticing your breath. And then imagine that you are in paradise. And oftentimes, we automatically go to the beach for paradise. It's not always my paradise. So instead of giving you that image of what paradise, my paradise looks like, allow a sense or an idea, vision of your paradise. What does the air feel like? Can you feel the sun? What sounds might you hear? Allowing your mind to go to all of those things outside of yourself that you might see, feel, or hear in your version of paradise. To allow these sensations to come into your mind space, to find their way into your body. How might your body feel? When you're doing whatever it might be that you would be doing. What about your mind? And as you take this visual trip, sensational trip to paradise, start to notice how the breath reacts, responds. And just to begin to stay with this rise and fall of your natural breath. As you transition into the here and now. And slowly release the hands down beside your body. Walk your feet closer together. Keep your left foot on the floor and bend your right knee in toward your chest. And take a few breaths, just noticing where you feel resistance in the hip. And see if you can use your breath to soften a little deeper through that resistance. And then grab your right ankle with your left hand. Use your right hand to press your knee open. So moving into external rotation in the hip joint. So pulling the heel towards your left hip, pushing your knee away a little bit more. And reach across with your right hand to grab the outer edge of your right foot. Release the left hand from the ankle and flex your right ankle strongly so that your ankle stays aligned. And then lift the right foot up towards the sky. Use your left foot to push the hip off the floor, pushing so far that your right thigh rests on the floor. So your left hip is off the ground. The top of the right thigh rests on the ground beside your right shoulder. Move to where your right heel is directly over your right knee. Push a little bit further. And then keeping the knee on the floor, start to straighten the right leg. So if you keep the knee on the floor, the toes will come to the ground. If you can't straighten the knee as far to bring the toes to the ground, just take it as far as you can. If the toes come to the ground with the ankle flexed, can you straighten the right leg, lifting the right knee off the ground? So toes point straight down, ankles stacked above the toes. So there's this deep external rotation in your hip. Heel stacked over the foot, over the toes. Bend the knee towards the floor, draw the heel in towards the hip, and come back to center. And bring the right foot back down to the ground. Bend your left knee in towards your chest. Hug the knee towards your chest. Notice where you feel resistance. And soften into those spaces. And grab your left ankle with your right hand. Use your left hand to push your knee open. So turning the knee out as far as you can by pulling the foot closer towards your hip and pushing the knee further away from your shoulder. So finding as much external rotation in your left hip as you can. Keep that deep external rotation. Take the left hand across the shin and grab the outer edge of your left foot. Press your right foot into the ground to push yourself onto your left hip all the way so that your left thigh rests on the floor, and then stack your left heel above your left knee. Flex the ankle strongly. And stay here, or start to straighten your left leg, taking the toes straight down to the ground. So don't take the knee off the floor until the toes touch down. Once the toes touch down, firm the front of your left thigh to lift the knee off the ground. And keep trying to pull the heel back towards your left shoulder so it's stacking above your toes. So basically we're trying to get as much external rotation in our hip joint as we can. So oftentimes we take the leg straight out to the side with the inner thigh facing up. We almost want to turn the inner thigh down towards the floor to exaggerate that external rotation. Bend the knee, dropping it towards the floor. Come back to center and hug both knees in towards the chest. Start to rock a little front back, and then rock all the way up. Come to hands and knees. Toes touch, knees out. Look forward, press the chest forward as you send the hips back. So trying to create as much depth in the front of the hip creases. Walk the hands a little further forward, continuing to look up towards the front edge of your mat. Spread your fingers wide, elbows off the floor. Come up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and press your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Come way up onto your toes. Firm the front of your thighs, press them back. Turn your heels to the left, especially the right foot, stacking your right foot in front of your left toes. Bring the heels to the ground. Press strongly through your right hand, really reach your right hip crease back. So your right hip is in a bit of external rotation here. To really pull the right hip crease back to exaggerate that. Come up onto your toes. Turn the heels to the left, stack the left heel, or the right, stack your left heel in front of your right toes. Push strongly through the left hand, pull back through the left hip crease. And come up onto your toes. Bend your knees as you walk your hands to the back of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Turn your toes out as in second position in ballet. Bend your knees, hands to the floor, fingertips to the floor. Reach your head and chest forward, so lengthen your spine. Inhale. As you exhale, lean your hips to the right. Start to straighten your left leg. Head will move to the left. Inhale, shift back to center. Start to lean your hips to the left as you push towards straightening your left leg. Head turns to the left. Inhale, back to center. Bend a little deeper into the left, right knee. Shift the hips to the right. Straighten the left leg. Back to center. Bend the left knee a little deeper. Shift your hips to the left. Start to straighten your right leg. Head to the right. Come back to center. Toes turn forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk your hands to the front of your mat, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back into three-legged dog. As you exhale, bend the knee out to the side and touch your right knee to your right shoulder and step your right foot outside of your right. Bend your left knee to the ground, toes point back. Walk the hands a little further forward. Press through the front of your left foot, sink deeper into your front hip crease. So toes are turned out about 45 degrees. Come up onto your fingertips, lift your head, lift your chest, press through the front of your back foot, sink a little deeper into your front hip crease. Slowly press up, turn the toes forward, walk the hips back above your left knee, straighten your right leg. Firm the front of your thigh, deepen your right hip crease down, pull the toes towards your shin. Turn the leg out, so toes out. Shift them back up. Turn them out. Shift them back up. So do this a couple more times, feeling the rotation deep in your hip socket, so all the way at the top of your hip. So the rotation is coming more from the hip joint than turning the foot out. Come back. Take your left leg towards the back or towards the other edge of your mat. And walk your hands to the long edge of your mat. Okay, so we're coming into this. Turn the toes up towards the sky, so external rotation in the hip, toes point up. Start to draw the hip crease towards the floor. Hands to the floor. Tuck your left toes under and push your hips back to your heel. So sit back and shift forward. Push your hips back towards your left heel as if you're going to sit on your left heel and then come forward. Keep turning the toes straight up towards the sky. So right toes are turning straight up towards the sky. So we're exaggerating that internal or external rotation in your right hip. Take it back up. Bring the sole of the foot to the ground. Inhale, reach. The right arm up towards the sky. Nope, sorry, left arm up towards the sky. Twist. Turn your left toes towards the right foot as you bring your left hand behind the right arm, so coming into that twist. Left hand, right hand comes behind your head, open the twist a little bit more, then reach left hand behind your back towards your outer left hip. Right hand behind your back towards your outer left hip. Reach, right arm up. Plant right arm in front of your face, untwist. Walk left hand back to the front of your mat and reach right arm up towards the sky. Bring the hand to the hip, lift your right leg off the ground. Tap, lift it up. Tap, lift it up, twist it open. Bend the knee. Straighten the leg. Bend the knee, kicking the heel towards the hip. Straighten the leg. Kick the heel towards the hip, knee goes up. Straighten. One more time, kick heel towards hip. Straighten. Bring both hands back down to the ground and come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Bend knee to left shoulder as you shift forward to plank, and then step your left foot outside of your left hand. Drop the right knee to the ground, toes point back. Come up onto your fingertips. Press through the top of your right foot to sink a little deeper into your front hip crease. So toes are pointed out to 45 degrees. Draw the left hip crease down as you push your knee out. So you're stabilizing your hips in neutral, but you're pushing your knee out to increase that external rotation in the hip. Shift the hips back over your right knee, straighten your left leg out in front. Firm the front of the thigh, flex your ankle, deepen your hip crease and start to rotate the right foot and left foot out and in. So feel this rotation, deepen the hip socket. So part of bird of paradise, do you have that rotation in the hip socket? So working on it in these more simple variations, these regressed variations, helps to increase it in a more safe way. Walk your hands towards the long edge of your mat as you bring your right foot behind you. Keep your ankle flexed. And sit or tuck your left toes under or right toes under and sit your hips back towards your heels. Sorry, I forgot what we did. Shift forward. And as you shift forward and back, notice if your toes want to dip forward as you shift your hips forward or back, and try to keep them pointing straight up towards the sky. Shift forward. Bring the toes down to the floor, pointing towards the long edge of your mat. Keep your left hand on the ground. Reach your right arm up towards the sky, twist open. As you exhale, twist, bringing your right arm behind your left. Toes go a little towards your left foot. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. And then bring your hand behind your back, wrapping the left hand on the outside of the right hip. Keep your left thigh firm, so press the foot down. Reach left arm up. Bring left hand in front of the face. Come back up, both hands to the ground. Right hand walks out to the side. Reach left hand up to stack your ribs. And then bring your hand to your hip. So left leg lifts up to hip height. Tap it down. Lift it up. Tap it down. Lift it up. Tap it down. Lift it up. Turn the toes up towards the sky. Bend the knee, kicking the heel towards the opposite heel. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bring both hands to the floor towards the front of your mat. Tuck your toes under and lift back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms come over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring the soles of your feet together. Bend your left knee forward. So standing on your right foot. Hands on your hips, take the knee out to the side. Bring it forward. Take the knee out to the side. Bring it forward. Knee out to the side. Left foot to your inner right thigh. Hands to your heart. Press foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Reach arms over your head. Keep pressing right foot into the thigh. Keep hugging right hip in. Tailbone reaches down. Hands reach high. Bring hands to your heart. Take your right hand behind your back. Left hand clasps your right hand. Pull your right hand forward as you reach your left elbow back. So it kind of looks like this. It doesn't kind of look like this. It does look like this. Bring the left knee forward. Release. Shift your weight into your left foot. Right knee comes forward. Hands to your heart. Bring the knee out to the side, hips stay squared forward. Shift it back. Take it up. Shift it forward. Take it up. One more time forward. Take it out. Bring your right foot to your inner left thigh, hands to your heart. Press foot into thigh, thigh into foot, arms reach over your head. Tailbone reaches towards the floor. Crown of the head reaches towards your sky. It's your sky. Bring the hands to the heart. Take your left hand behind your back. Wrap it on the right side of your body. Clasp your hands together and pull your right elbow back. Release. Front of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. As you exhale, bend your knees, fold from your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, step to the back of your mat into plank pose. Press down through your hands, isometrically twist your hands to the floor. Firm your belly. Lift your right leg off the floor, lower down. Lift your left leg off the floor, lower down. Right, left. Draw the elbows towards your hips as you lower all the way down to the floor. Scoop head, chest forward and up, lifting up to up dog or cobra. Press your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring right knee to right elbow. Inhale, take it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, take the knee out to the side, touch knee to elbow, knee to chest. Plant right foot up between your hands. Right knee above your ankle joint. Firm the outer right hip. Keep your left toe lifted as you lift up to crescent warrior. Press your feet down and then open up to Virabhadrasana 2. So right knee forward. Press down through your feet. Isometrically drag your right heel towards your left heel. So if you're as if you're trying to drag your foot back or scrape your foot back. Tailbone towards the floor. Rotate your ribs towards the long edge of your mat as you gaze out over your right hand. Keep pushing right heel down, drag it back. Inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, straighten your right leg and come into triangle pose. Right hand behind your right foot on the floor or a block. Bring your left hand to the right side of your rib cage and pull your right rib cage towards your left rib cage. Lift the left hand above your left shoulder. Press your feet into the ground. Pull your right heel towards your left heel as you push your left heel towards your right heel. Breathe. Firm the front of your right thigh. Look down at your right foot. Bend your left knee, or right knee. Rotate your torso towards the ground. And walk both of your hands inside of your right foot. Press down through your hands. Reach your head and chest forward. Isometrically drag your right heel towards your left heel. Keep the right hand on the floor inside of your right foot. Back of the hand comes to the back of the head, or top of the palm of the hand comes to the back of the head. And then push your head into your hand to rotate open again. Elbow reaches up. Hug your right hip in. Sink deeper into your front hip crease. Push your shoulder into your knee to open your knee more. And bring your left arm to your ear. Gaze under your left arm. Look down at your right foot. Walk your left foot or right foot forward a little bit. So maybe 2 drags forward. Start to firm the front of your right thigh to straighten your right leg, coming back into triangle pose. Rotate ribs up towards your left hand. Look down at your right foot. Bend your right knee. Come onto your left toes. Step your left foot up beside your right foot. Grab your right ankle. Pull it up as you come up into standing to tree pose. So right foot comes to the inner left thigh. Wrap your left hand behind your back. Grab it with your right hand, pull it forward. So we just did this. Release. Foot to the ground, arms by the side. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to the back of the mat, plank pose. Lift your left leg, drop it down. Lift your right leg, drop it down. Left leg, drop. Right leg, drop. Shift forward and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, push up to up dog or cobra. Exhale, press back to down dog. Inhale, lift left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, take the knee out to the side to touch left elbow. Inhale, reach it back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee sweeps out to the side, touch knee to elbow. Inhale, take it back. One more time, knee comes out to the side forward, knee to chest. Step left foot up between the hands. Come up Into a crescent warrior, back toe lifted. Firm the outer left hip in. Rotate right heel down and in, open up, Virabhadrasana 2. Start to pull left heel towards right heel. Rotate rib cage towards the long edge of your mat. Turn your head to gaze out over your left fingertips. So knees stacked above your ankle joint. Heel is pushing down and dragging back. And you might feel your hamstring with that. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Straighten your left leg as you bring your left hand to the floor behind your left foot. Right hand comes around to grab the left side of your rib cage. Pull it towards the right rib cage. Lift. Left hand, right hand above the shoulder. Feel all 4 points of your feet press into the floor. Start to isometrically pull your right foot back, as if you're scraping it on your mat. So we're lengthening the hamstring as we're engaging the hamstring. And so much of what the action is in this pose is hamstring strength to straighten the leg, but also hamstring length to straighten the leg. Look down at your left foot. Bring your right hand to the floor as you bend your left knee above the ankle joint. Bring both hands inside of your left foot. Reach your left hip back. Continue to scrape your left heel back. Keep your left hand inside of your left foot. Bring your right hand behind your head. Start to push your head into your hand to open back up into side angle pulse. Hug left hip in. Bend right knee deeper. Keep dragging left heel back and then reach right arm beside the ear. So if you can feel your shoulder inside of your left knee, you want to create a resistance between the two, but you want your shoulder to somewhat win so that your knees stack it above your shoulder. Look down at your left foot, crawl your toes slightly forward. As if you were pushing on the gas pedal of a car, push down through the ball mount of your foot to straighten your left leg back in the triangle pose. So it's that action of pushing down through the ball of the foot that firms the front of the thigh to safely lengthen your hamstring. Bring both hands to the floor. Bend your left knee. Come on to your right toes. Hop your left or your right foot up beside the left and then lift, bringing your foot to your inner thigh, right foot to inner left thigh. Bring left hand behind your back. Clasp your fingers together as you push the fist forward. Take your right elbow back. Release. Both feet to the ground. So we're just going to progress this each time, moving a little further. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Feel the hamstrings lengthen. Inhale, halfway lift. Firm the front of the thighs, press them back. Exhale, hinge forward. Hands on either side of the foot. Inhale, halfway lift, bend the knees. Step or hop to the back of the mat. Chaturanga, lower. Inhale, press up, up dog or cobra. Tuck your toes under, lift back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Turn the toes out, keeping the knees straight as long as you can. Take the knee towards the shoulder and then touch knee to elbow. Shift it back, straighten, square the hips. Turn the toes out. Legs stay straight as long as you can. At the end, bend, touch, knee to elbow. Take it back. One more time, turn the toes out. Leg comes out to the side, touch, knee to elbow, knee to chest, plant the foot. Keep the back leg strong, knees stacked over the ankle joint, lift up. Crescent warrior. Shift into Virabhadrasana 2, right knee bent. Drag heel towards heel. Inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, triangle pose. Instead of bringing the hand to the floor, hover the fingers over the floor. Rotate ribs up towards the sky. Bend the knee. Bring your elbow inside your knee and turn your fingers towards the front edge of your mat. Start to press elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Bring arm to ear. Keep pressing your elbow and your knee together. So the more you press your knee into your elbow, see if you can hug your right hip in more. Hand to the floor. Firm the thigh, straighten the right leg back into triangle pose. Firm the front of the thigh. Rotate left hip above right. Bend the knee. Bring your hands to heart center. Right elbow inside of right knee. Gaze down towards your right foot. Step your left foot beside your right foot as you come on to your right toes. Keep the elbow and the knee connected as you lift up. Elbow and knee are connected. Flex the ankle, straighten the leg. Bend the knee, straighten. Bend the knee, straighten. Bend the knee. Keep knee and ankle touching as you lower right foot back to the front of your mat. Keep knee and elbow connected as you step left foot back. Both hands to the ground. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Turn the toes out. And as you bring the leg out to the side, keep it straight as long as you can, and then knee touches elbow. Take it out and back. Turn the toes out. Take the leg out to the side as it stays straight, and then bend, knee to elbow. Take it back. One more time, turn the toes out. Knee comes forward. Bring the foot up between your hands. Stay on your back toes. Firm the outer left hip in. Lift up, crescent warrior. Rotate open, Virabhadrasana 2. Drag left heel back. Inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, straighten the front leg. Reach left hand towards the floor. Bring the hand right in front of your shin. Back of the hand presses into the shin as you rotate open. Bend your front knee. Elbow to the knee, and then reach the hand forward. Rotate open a little bit more. Walk the toes forward. Straighten back to Trikonasana. Bend the knee. Bring the elbow inside the left knee, hands to heart prayer. Gaze down towards your left foot. Step right foot up beside the left as you come onto your left toes. Keep knee and elbow together as you lift up. Keep the connection. Turn the knee out to the side. Straighten the leg. Bend. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bend. Bend it one last time. Slowly lower the foot back to the ground. Step. Right leg back. Both hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. All right, so one more time. Inhale. Lift your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. As you exhale, turn the foot out. Come forward, bringing knee to elbow. Take it back. One more time, turn the toes out. Take the leg out, bring it in, step it forward. Left foot stays lifted. Inhale, reach up, crescent warrior. Exhale, open up, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior with a straight leg. Exhale, press the foot down to come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Rotate heart up towards the sky. Bend the right knee. Bring your elbow inside your right knee. Take your hand underneath your thigh to the back of your hip. Left hand comes behind your back grab. Start to push your shoulder into your knee as you gaze up. So we're in the bind. Look down towards your right foot. Crawl your right toes forward more. Go slow here, but press to the ball mount of your first toe like you are pressing on the gas pedal to straighten the leg. Don't force this one. Slowly bend the knee. Look down, step. Left foot up beside right foot as you come onto your right toes. Knee and shoulder pressing together. Lift up. Lift up. And then work on straightening right leg. Last time. Bend the leg, keep the bind. Lower the leg back down to the ground. Unbind, step, left foot back, right foot back, down, back. Last side. Inhale. Lift left leg back. Turn the foot out. Take the knee out to the side as you tip knee to shoulder. Bring it back. Turn the foot out. The leg stays straight as you take it out to the side. Then bend. Bring the foot forward. Stay on your back toes. Firm the left hip in. Rise up. Virabhadrasana. Crescent warrior. Open. Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten your front leg. Reverse your warrior. So really press down through your feet to hold triangle pose. Rotate ribs open. Bend the left knee. Bring your elbow inside the left knee. Slide the shoulder down. Wrap. Left hand behind the hip. Right hand comes behind to grab it. Push your shoulder into your knee as you use your hands to hug your hip in. Gaze up. Look down at your foot. Walk your toes slightly forward. My mat is so slippery. And then press down through your front foot. Possibly slowly straightening your front leg. I'm not doing it. My mat is so slippery, I'm gonna tear a hamstring. Continue to push your shoulder into your inner thigh as you rotate your heart towards the sky. And then slowly bend the front knee. Come onto your back toes and step your right foot up beside your left foot. Stay in the bind, come onto your left toes. Squeeze down through your right hip to lift up. And then perhaps straighten. And hold. Whew. Last time, bend the knee, take the foot back down to the floor. Release the bind and step back into downward facing dog. Slowly come down to your knees. Big toes touch. Press your hips towards your heels. Coming into child's pose. Slowly shift forward into tabletop. Cross your ankles, sit your hips back. Bring your legs out in front of you. Draw your right knee in. Lean back, hands clasped in front of your shins. And grab both sides of your feet with your fingertips. Straighten, right leg long. So, hair on pose. Keep holding the outer edge of your right foot with your right hand. Left hand can either come to your heart or behind your hips. Bend your knee out to the side. Draw it back like a bow. Straighten. You want to counter, you can reach the opposite hand forward. Straighten. One more time. Straighten. Pull it back. Grab outer edge of your right foot with your left hand. Shoot your right arm underneath. Taking your knee as far up your upper arm as you can. Take the right hand as far out to this side as you can. Switch your grip. You can either hold your big toe with your first two fingers, or you can hold the outer edge of your right foot, left hand on top of your foot, fingers curling over the outer edge. Press down through your right hand. Start to push the back of your right thigh into the floor as you rotate your head under your left arm and straighten, move towards straighten your left leg. So compass pose. Same kind of movement as that bird of paradise. Release, stretch your right leg long. Draw your left knee in. Clasp your fingers on top of your knee and lean back to lift your foot off the ground. Fingertips grab on either outer edge of your foot. Straighten your left leg. So extend through the crown of your head to lengthen your spine. Firm the front of your thigh to get more length in the back of your thigh. And continue to hold on to your left outer edge with your left hand. Pull back and straighten. Pull back. So the knees going out to the side. It's pretty much the same thing we did on our back at the first pose. We're just seated now. Pull back, hold. Switch, grab the outer edge of your foot with your right hand. Shoot your left hand underneath your left knee. Then switch your grip, either bringing the heel of the hand to the top of the foot or grabbing both of your toes with your first two fingers. Press down through your left hand. Start to press the back of your leg into your arm as you rotate your head open under your right arm and straighten your left leg. Bend your knee and stretch left leg long. Bring your heels towards your hips and lower your back down onto the floor. Hands on either side of your body, palms pressing down. Walk your heels closer to your hips. Snuggle your shoulder blades closer to your spine. Press to the inner edges of your feet and lift your hips into bridge pose. Clasp your hands behind your hips, press the fist into the floor. Snuggle your shoulder blades closer together and lift your hips higher. Bend your left knee towards your chest. Straighten your left leg above your hip. Bend your knee, left foot down. Bend your right knee in towards your chest. Lift right leg above your hip. Bend your knee, right foot down. Unclasp your hands and lower your hips to the ground. Allow your shoulder blades to come away from the spine. Bring your arms wide to your body. T. Step your feet wider than that distance apart and windshield wiper your knees side to side. Bring your feet back to hip distance apart. Hands beside your hips. Snuggle your shoulder blades closer together. Lift your hips towards the sky, chest towards your chin. Press your hands into the floor. Isometrically press your feet down and draw them towards your shoulder blades. Lift your hips a little higher. Bend your right knee towards your chest. Lower your hips. Lift them. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift the hips. Right leg down. Bend your left knee towards your chest. Lower your hips. Press down through your right foot and lift. Continue this. Lower the hips. Lower the leg. Arms wide. Feet wide. Windshield wiper, knees side to side. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Continue to hug your left knee in towards the chest as you bring your right foot to the ground. Press your right foot into the ground and shift your hips about an inch to the left. Straighten your right leg down. Reach across, grab the outer edge of your left knee with your right hand and twist to the right. Reach your left arm out to the side. And allow your heart to follow your fingers, your head to rotate to the left. Release the right hand off your knee, come back to center. Bring both knees back to the ground or feet to the ground. Shift your hips to the right. Straighten your left leg. Bend your right knee towards your left shoulder. Reach across and then twist to the left. Reach your fingers to the right. Allow your heart and your head to fall towards your right hand. Roll back to center. Hug both knees to your chest. Rock a little side to side. Inhale. As you exhale, lift your head off the floor, bringing your knees and your head touch. And on your next exhalation, let it all go. Stretch your legs long. Arms to the floor, down beside your body, palms facing up. Again, bring yourself back to your version of paradise. Visualizing whatever you might be seeing. Feeling whatever breeze. Hearing whatever noises. Allowing all of your senses to create a sense of ease. You might feel in your paradise. Slowly start to allow yourself to come into the here and now. And feeling your body back on your yoga mat. And feeling the air within the space that you're practicing. Noticing the sounds of the room, the space that you're in. And allow movement to slowly start to come back into the limbs of the body. Reach your arms over your head. Stretch through your arms, stretch through your heels or your toes. As you exhale, bend your knees and roll onto your side body, finding a comfortable position on your side. And slowly use your hands to press yourself up into a seated position. Bring your hands to meet at heart center, allowing your thumbs to rest on your breastbone. Start to connect to the inner space deep within yourself. knowing that at any given moment in time, you have that paradise deep within yourself. And you allow yourself to be present here and now. Thank you very much. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.